beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're going to talk about this new BT21 collaboration that launched yesterday on the ColourPop website. And as I am filming this, a lot of the pieces are already sold out. However, much to my surprise, actually, there are still several things left, including the full collection. So despite the fact that some of the individuals are sold out, you can still get everything if you get the full collection. And as you can see here, several of the individual Super Shocks have already sold out, as well as the PR box collection and the individual palette. So just keep that in mind if there is something that you wanted that is sold out. As of right now, anyway, the full collection is still available. It's $110. You get all 7 Super Shocks, the 3 lip oils, and the palette. I wanted to test to see if codes will work, so I added the full collection set to my cart and used my code. It did apply the code. This is an affiliate code, by the way. It's just my first name, Amanda. So that can save you quite a bit. And there is free shipping. In the US, it's over $30. Internationally, it's over $60. Just keep in mind, there's a limit of 2 per order. Now, some people have been commenting on my Instagram post, I don't know what BT21 is. So I'm just popping onto their website real quick to show you what is BT21, just in case you don't know. Basically, this is a collaboration between the brand Line Friends and the band BTS. BTS is a hugely popular K-pop band. They have many, many millions of fans that make up the BTS army across the world. And this is really cool. I watched a lot of their videos about the creation of this project, and they were really hands-on, the band members. And I also wanted to show you their Instagram page because they have almost 6 million followers. This is a hugely, hugely popular brand. So this is a gigantic collaboration for ColourPop, and it really makes sense. These two brands are colorful and cute, so I think this is a great team here. Seems like a match made in heaven. So I'm going to go through all of the individual pieces in this collection and show you close-ups, swatches, give you the prices, and we'll do a few comparisons as well. So let's start with the Luxe Lip Oils. There are 3 in this collection. They're priced at $10 each, or you can get the set of all 3 for $28, so you do save $2. And all the little details here are so cute. Like I said, very fun, colorful, adorable, and it really fits with the ColourPop brand in my opinion. So I like the way that they've done this Bon Voyage vacation summery themed collection. We do see special packaging on both the outer cartons and the actual tubes of lip oil themselves. But overall, the scent, the formula, the size and shape of the packaging are all what we've seen previously from the Luxe Lip Oils. The little shade names are printed on the side instead of on a sticker on the bottom. So these do tend to wear off for me, just something to keep in mind. And these little caps with the beach balls and life preservers, it's so cute. I really like this. I think it's such a fun collection. Even if you're not a fan of BTS or BT21, I think that this is still really cute and really well done. Again, same applicator, that flat, flexible paddle applicator. And when it comes to the actual shades, I think these are more pigmented, at least BFFs and Mighty Squad, than some of the other lip oils that we've come across. These are still pretty sheer. It is a lip oil, so keep that in mind. Not necessarily my personal favorite formula, but I do think that this makes sense in this really summery, youthful collection. Now let's take a look at the Super Shock shadows. I absolutely love these. This is by far my favorite part of this collection. We have 7 different shades. They are priced at $8 a piece. and they are all a very glittery tie-dye Super Shock shadow. We've seen a few of these in the past, and I think this is a really fun take for Super Shocks in this collection. Each one of the Super Shocks has different special outer packaging, and it's dedicated, or I guess representative of one of the characters from the BT21 universe. This one, called Truly Loving, is my personal favorite. You can see I painted my nails to match the packaging of this one because you know I love a matching nails moment. They have the finish labeled as tie-dye. So first of all, that means that each and every one is going to look a little bit different. And they are all very sparkly. I would say these are more like an ultra glitter finish. They're very, very sparkly. Some of them are more sheer, some are more opaque. You'll be able to tell a little bit more once I show you the swatches on my arm. And the last thing I want to point out is that this shade Crown Prince is a Super Shock pigment, not a Super Shock shadow. So this one does carry that little eye safety warning, probably because of the red in there. So just patch test this one before you use it, just to be sure. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about with the warning there, I have a video where I explain that more in depth. It's in my wine collection video. I'll link that down in the description box. Just check that out for your own personal information. I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry, especially when we're talking about eye health. So let's take a close-up look at these now. You can see they're very, very sparkly. Some are a lot more sheer than others, but overall these have more pigment than I expected, and I just love these. This is my personal favorite part of this collection. I think they're just so cute, so fun. I love Super Shock shadows. Now let's talk about the pressed powder palette. This is the Bon Voyage palette. It's priced at $30 US. It has 24 shades, and we have a whole lot of different finishes in here. First, let's look at the packaging. The front cover of both the box and the palette look exactly the same. The main difference being that the box has an ingredients list and the back of the actual palette doesn't have that. Definitely hang on to the box, especially if you have any particular allergies or sensitivities. That way you can double check and make sure you're taking care of those beautiful little eyeballs of yours. And again, I want to point out we have a few shades here with the eye safety warning. You just need to take a really close-up look at the shade names, and they'll have these little asterisks next to them to point out which ones are not intended for the eye area. There are 8 different shades that have that warning. Some are due to being pressed glitters, and some are just because of the pigments. There's no mirror in this palette, but it still feels quite weighty and luxurious. I also want to point out these are the larger pan sizes, so like Limoncello and Plush Like Me. These are not the smaller ones that you find in the Bare Necessities palette, for example. There are 7 true mattes, 11 shimmers, 3 pressed glitters, and then 3 mattes with glitter in this palette. So lots of different finishes in here, lots of different colors. That whole top row is very light, icy, more like whitish pastel colors, and then the rest of the palette are typically quite bright. We do have a couple little neutrals thrown in there. My main thing that I would change about this palette is I think that top row has too many shades that are too similar. I do think those could have been tweaked or edited down a little bit to give a little bit more variety. But overall, I think this palette does have a nice wide range of options. I can see lots and lots of looks coming out of this one. For the most part, I think all of these top row shades are going to look pretty similar, if not identical, on the eye. And then the rest of the palette has so much variety, so I think that makes the similarities stand out even more. I really like these shimmery, almost shifty shades that they put in for the metallics. These really bright, cartoony, very summery, youthful colors make perfect sense with this collection. And I like that there are only a couple of brown neutrals and then these silvery grays at the very end. Instead of doing a black, they did this deep slate gray, which I think is a really cool option. It definitely works well with the bright colors in here, and it's just a interesting alternative to doing a matte black shadow in this particular very rainbowy palette. These are finger and brush swatches, so finger swatches on top and then each corresponding brush swatch directly below. I don't use any primer, I don't use a dampened brush, I just use the same flat eyeshadow brush, and I clean it off with a Veramona color switch. That way we can keep these swatches as consistent as possible, and I think overall the performance in this one is really nice. Now let's do a couple of comparisons. I don't have a ton of comparisons to do, but I have a handful that I think are really great comparisons. First being the Fade into Hue palette. This one I did the most comprehensive, so I compared almost every single shade, and otherwise I'll do a more edited down version. The Fade into Hue palette I would say is similar in feeling, but not necessarily a ton of one-to-one dupeable shades. There are some that are similar, but I don't think overall that this is the same palette twice, if you see what I'm saying. Next, we have the Let's Roll palette. I just compared the closest shades because Let's Roll is smaller, and you can see here a lot more similar shades, in my opinion, between these two, a lot more that I would say these are going to look the same on the eye. And the last ColourPop palette that I'm going to compare is this Chasing Rainbows palette. This was a holiday release from many moons ago. And again, a lot of similar feeling here. I think you could do some similar looks, but not a ton of one-to-one dupeable, these are the exact same shades type of shadows between these two. And lastly, this recent release from Odin's Eye. I think these are way more similar than I expected. Again, not exactly the same, but I was surprised by how similar the overall vibe here was. But after doing these comparisons, I do think that this Bon Voyage palette is pretty unique, at least in my personal collection. For me, the Super Shock shadows are the standout product, and that's my favorite, my recommendation. I would love to hear what you think about this collection. Are you being newly introduced to BT21? Are you a longtime fan? Are you a BTS fan? Have you already purchased anything? I always love to hear what you think about things too. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see me do some looks with this collection. I think this palette has so much variety that I could do a really cute 3 looks, 1 palette. If you want some inspo, just let me know what you think down in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! And don't forget that you're special and beautiful, and I love your face so much, and I appreciate you, and you are important and awesome, and I'll see you soon. Bye!